It is imaginable that if you asked someone in 1986 whether Vietnam would become one of the 10 richest countries in the world, you would likely receive only skeptical looks. At that time, Vietnam was still struggling to recover from the war, with a per capita GDP of only 160 USD, ranking among the 5 poorest countries globally. The French once regarded it as barren land. The Americans did not highly assess its development potential, and China even at times mocked the ability of its southern neighbor to rise. But history inherently favors surprises. Just as South Korea, once devastated by war, or China, once mired in poverty, became leading global economies, Vietnam has also been and continues to write the story of overcoming all doubts. The starting point for this journey was the Doi Moi reform in 1986. Instead of relying on natural resources or hot industries, Vietnam patiently nurtured each stream of foreign direct investment. Farmers continued to toil in the fields, but now they thought far ahead to future generations. Workers accepted low wages in exchange for learning skills, accessing new technology, and gradually integrating into the global value chain. It was a persistent transformation process, quiet but certain. So, what makes Vietnam different and has great potential to break through? First of all, the population factor must be mentioned. While many developed countries such as Japan, South Korea, China, or European countries are facing aging populations, Vietnam has more than 95 million people of working age. By 2025, it is estimated that over 68% of the population will be in the golden population phase, a historic advantage to accelerate income and productivity. Not only populous, Vietnamese people are also famous for their intelligence and quick learning ability. Global PISA rankings, the increasing number of engineers, scientists, and technology experts all create a hidden goldmine of intellect. In an era where the greatest resource is brainpower rather than oil or steel, this is the core driver of growth. The resilience and flexibility of the Vietnamese people are also strengths that are hard to replicate. Like the bamboo tree, durable, adaptable, but not easily broken, Vietnamese society has repeatedly overcome historical storms thanks to its ability to recover and innovate in the face of adversity. In terms of geopolitics, Vietnam is emerging as a strategic foothold in the Asia-Pacific region. Without fully aligning with any major power, Vietnam skillfully balances its relationships, maintains its autonomy, and becomes a hub attracting production, services, and emerging technologies. Currently, many large corporations choose Vietnam as a place for assembly, product development, and even research centers, especially in the semiconductor sector, a key industry in the global supply chain. Optimistic forecasts show that if Vietnam maintains a GDP growth rate of about 7% per year, by 2040, it could reach a nominal GDP of 3 trillion USD, ranking among the top 20 largest economies in the world. At that time, the per capita GDP will reach about 25,000 US, comparable to many developed countries today, such as Poland. The motivation for this vision comes not only from the golden demographic structure, but also from increasingly strong technological capabilities and a unique cultural identity. Vietnam does not necessarily have to invent core technology, but it is very good at localizing, adapting, and innovating to serve specific markets. The indomitable, resilient, and ever-renewing culture is the operating system for an advanced society, especially important in the AI era, when everything can be copied except the spirit and courage of the nation. In addition, the AI technology sector, creative industries, the middle-class consumer market, and e-commerce are growing day by day. By 2030, it is expected that Vietnam will have more than 50 million people belonging to the middle class, creating a huge boost for consumption, services, and innovation. The vision for 2045, the 100th anniversary of the country's founding, if Vietnam persists in reform, invests in education, digital skills, and intellectual infrastructure, it can completely rise to join the ranks of developed countries with a strategic role equivalent to G20 members. But above all, Vietnam's greatest strength does not lie in its vast land or material wealth, but in the firm belief of millions of people that they deserve a better destiny and that they can rewrite their own history. That is the ultimate motivation, opening up all possibilities for Vietnam's future.